AI tools like Claude, LLaMA, Gemini, and so on and so on are incredible tools that make our lives so much more productive and efficient. And today I want to show you how to generate acceptance criteria out of your user stories and how this is done with AI. Hey, my name is Michael, and let's jump right in. All right, first let's talk quickly about the famous 3Cs in user stories. 3Cs define a user story. The 3Cs stand for card, conversation, and confirmation. Card is a user story should be short enough so it fits onto a card. Traditionally, user stories have been put onto cards and then just stuck on the wall. Then the second C is for conversation. A user story should be a promise that the product owner has at least one conversation with the team about this user story. We're not just typing something in or writing something and then just throw it over the fence and see what happens next. And the third is confirmation. So how can we confirm that the user story has been implemented correctly? That is what actually defines the user criteria. So let's jump one further. What are acceptance criteria? They describe a specific aspect of a user story. They also help you understand the boundaries, what's in scope and what's out of scope. They should be talking about the problem or the requirement in a good way, so they're negotiable, so we don't just jump into a solution. Developers should be able to help provide better solutions that we might not even have thought of, for example. They also help you to understand when a user story is considered done, and they act as a bridge between the user story themselves and the test cases. And they can also be a very helpful information for you in order to split user stories into smaller chunks. Well, it could be not just user stories, but also features or enablers or anything else, or epics. One thing very important, acceptance criteria are specific to a single entry in the product backlog, so to one user story, to one feature, etc. And they shouldn't be confused with the definition of done, which is more like a general quality gate for all your user stories or product backlog items. But we're going to talk about that in a separate video. How do acceptance criteria look like? Well, they could have all sorts of different formats. It could be just a checklist. It could be concrete and specific examples with numbers. It could be a wireframe describing a UI. It could be a decision table, or it could be also described in the form of scenarios with the Gherkin syntax, given when then, which also helps you nicely to create, to jump into behavior-driven development and create test cases straight out of it. What makes good acceptance criteria? Well, first of all, they're clear and concise, they're testable, they're achievable, so realistic, and they're measurable, so that a tester can test it and measure if it's correct or not. A response time that is fast can't be measured, but a response time of under 2 seconds can be measured very easily. All right, now how can the AI support us in our case? I've prepared a little prompt for you. As you can see, I assign a role, as pretty much in all of my prompts, I assign a role to the AI. You're an expert in requirements engineering and business analysis, and you're also familiar with the IREP and BABOK knowledges. You also know Mike Cohn's approach to writing better user stories. On that note, big props and thank you to Mike Cohn for putting out all this great content online. I want you to optimize my user stories, review, rephrase, and most importantly, suggest acceptance criteria. You're also familiar with the invest quality criteria for user stories. All right, let's grab this prompt. Let's chuck it in here into a new window. And it confirms me, all right, it has got it all in the invest criteria, independent, negotiable, valuable, estimable, small, and testable. That's great as well. It will just wait for my input. I've prepared a couple of sample user stories. Let's check in the first one. So that would be this one. As a member, I want to describe myself on my own page in a semi-structured way so that others can learn about me. I want to fill in predefined fields, but also I need room for a free text field or two. And it would be nice to let this free text field be markdown or similar to enable some simple formatting. If that was a user story that I received from one of my stakeholders, let's see what the AI thinks about it and how the AI would optimize that. As you can see, it's kind of rephrased the user story a bit. It maintains the user-centric perspective, ensuring clarity while emphasizing both structure and flexibility. It also directly conveys the value of the markdown feature. Now, if we apply the invest criteria, you can see it kind of checks against that, and now it started to suggest acceptance criteria. It gives me some predefined fields, gives me some free text fields, markdown support, profile support, error handling, and actually what's funny, last time I did it, it just provided me with a checklist of acceptance criteria, and now it's using the scenario syntax or Gherkin syntax given when then. Obviously, I could define that. Obviously, I could put that into my prompt. So feel free to do that. You got all the knowledge to do this. All right, let's quickly check on a second prompt, just because maybe it's also doing the same now. It's going to provide the given when then syntax or not. Let's see. It checks the invest criteria, whether it's small enough, testable, and so on. And it sticks still to the given when then syntax, which looks quite all right. All right, that was it for today. I hope you found it useful. If you want more of this content, feel free to follow me. Feel free to like and subscribe the video. And yeah, check out our new course, AI for Requirements Engineering. See you soon.